What is a select committee? Select committees are one of Parliament's main tools for scrutinising the work of the government. Parliament picks a small group of cross-party MPs that come from across different parties, and it asks them to look at a particular area of policy or look at a particular government department or a particular issue that's important to society. That specialism is incredibly important because there's just so much work that goes on at Parliament. There's just not enough time in the main chamber to give everything the scrutiny it requires. So by getting a smaller group of MPs who develop a specialism, they can really put a laser-like focus onto areas of policy or areas that might become policy in the future. Now, the makeup of a select committee, the membership changes depending on what it's trying to do. There are select committees that shadow government departments. So the Department of Business and Trade has an equivalent select committee that looks at the work that is within the portfolio of the Department for Business and Trade. That if there's a Secretary of State, there will be a select committee that does the same thing. But you also get cross-cutting committees, so constitutional affairs. It's not specifically to the work of one department, but it's about things that go across what Parliament's got a focus on and a lens on. You also get internal committees, so the Backbench Business Committee would be one. Backbenchers we can apply for debates in Parliament, and the Backbench Business Committee decides what ones make it to the main chamber. Then you get legislative or statutory instrument committees. Now, secondary legislation is too much to explain in this video. I promise you we'll do that in another one. So a committee, once it's assembled, will decide what it wants to do. And once it's decided what it's going to do, there's a number of things it can then do to achieve its aims. It can have an evidence session. It can ask experts or ministers to come along and talk about a particular subject. It can conduct fact-finding missions to wherever it needs to go to learn about what it wants to talk about. It can have policy roundtables. It can appoint special advisors. It can meet when Parliament's not sitting. Really, it can do whatever it needs to do to really get in about the issue it wants to look at. Now, at the end of every inquiry, each select committee will publish a report on its work, and that report will have recommendations. The government doesn't have to follow the recommendations, but it would be a strange and brave minister or department that wouldn't listen very, very carefully to what a select committee is saying. And in addition to these formal recommendations, committees can influence debates. So if there's something that's really in the zeitgeist of what the public's talking about, then a committee can influence that debate and channel it hopefully towards any legislation that may be required in the future. So why does all of this matter? Well, crucially, Parliament just does not have enough hours in the day to do everything in the main chamber. So select committees are an important part of the democratic process. They shine a spotlight on things which increases transparency, it increases accountability, and ultimately it all increases trust in our democratic institutions. So select committees are a hugely important part of the work of Parliament. So now you know